What's up, you beautiful bastards? Thanks for tuning in once again. It is the one and only Optimus coming at you with another video. Out of not out of retirement, but just while in retirement. This is an extremely weird setup. I have finally moved into my permanent place. The other one that I was waiting essentially for this place to become available. And I am now moved in. Beautiful place. Super excited about it. I am in the process of trying to get my office/studio set up. In the meantime, I'm still going around. Hi, Bailey. I'm still going around and finding things. And I found these. These are the new Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Ranger reignition figures. You're going to see why this is such a extreme close-up, because I'm in my kitchen right now. And I don't have a lot of space. And who did I knock down? Oh. Okay, can't knock down Trini. All right, so these are the new figures from Playmates Toys. You can see there's a logo somewhere. There it is, logo right there. Now, I know that I think it was Hasbro did some a little bit ago. Never really liked those ones. These ones, though, for some reason, stood out to me. And I think that they're really quite fun looking. And one aspect, and I'll touch on it here in a bit. Well, I'll just do it now. The fact that they actually made an effort to make the female characters, like the Yellow Ranger here, actually look like a female, which is quite impressive. Same thing that they did with the Pink Ranger, and even giving her a little skirt thing down there, which is cool. We'll take a look at all that here in a bit. But for the Red Ranger here, now I found these at Target, and they're $10.99, and I couldn't pass on that. They had Rita, didn't really care about getting her. They had the Morpher, which I might go back and get. And then the one Target that I went to had the combining Zords, all the individual Zords. I'm on the fence about that one. But these, as many of you that have been longtime viewers of mine know, while I was in high school, so way back in the late 90s, Power Rangers was on television. And I've told this story many times. My school, when I was going to school, this is my boomer talk. Our school actually started at 8:05 every day. My sister and I lived fairly close to the school. We walked to school. But we would always leave at 7:45 to get to work, or to get to school. Kind of seems like work, doesn't it? To get to school by 8:05. Took us about 20 minutes to get there. Realistically, we probably could have went faster, but we always waited. Power Rangers came on at 7:30 a.m. Every day we would watch Power Rangers, but only up to the commercial break. The first 15 minutes, I don't even really remember. We basically only got to watch the first 15 minutes, and a lot of times it was a commercial break. So I remember watching several seasons. Well, I don't know seasons, but a lot of Power Rangers. But I only ever really watched half of the episode. But I always liked the Power Rangers. It was fun. It was really cool. And I never got to see the result of the monsters attacking the Power Rangers, or see the Zords combined or anything. But Target had these. The only one that they didn't have that I want to get is Tommy, the Green Ranger. But I was able to get all 5 of the original ones. So we got the Red Ranger, Yellow Ranger, Black Ranger, Blue Ranger, and of course the Pink Ranger. And these, like I said, look really fun. I really like the detail on here. Coming in to kind of showcase some of that, like the head sculpt looks really good. The fun thing is you got this try-me thing where the head can flip around, which is right down here in the back. And it's very akin to the original toy, but you just push it down and you see the head flips around. And I really like that. I think that's fun. And mine seems to rotate fairly decently. I've watched, my good buddy Pixel Dan did a video on these a while ago, and he had some problems with his head flipping around. But in terms of Jason here, very happy with how it turned out. Even the likeness looks pretty good. The one thing that, and of course, as I say it, all right, there you go. And here's Billy, the Blue Ranger. You can see he has that feature as well. He doesn't have glasses on, which, you know, it's not that big of a deal. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm just going to kind of set these down here. Here we have Zach, the Black Ranger. Very fun. Again, good, pretty decent likeness on there. Now, the difference that I was kind of confused about this. The girls, we have Trini and we have Kimberly. Everybody had a crush on Kimberly. I had a big crush on Kimberly. This doesn't have the Try Me feature. You come around to the back and it doesn't have that. Watching Pixel Dan's video, I realized why they did it. Maybe because of the redesign of the torso. It's possible that because it's smaller and more feminine, the actual gimmick doesn't seem to really work in terms of having the rotating thing. You have to manually rotate these heads back and forth, which kind of sucks, but still decent nonetheless. So for the packaging, and then you come around here to the back, you got a little bit of a read up and everything, and then you got a whole bunch of other things, but you can see the Green Ranger down here. You got the bad guys right down there. Really very cool, but I like the original 5, and you can see them all there. Tommy came in later on with the Dragon Zord, and the Dragon Zord was super cool. So really happy to find these. Like I said, they're very much like what the vintage toys kind of were, but updated. So that's really cool. So, so without further ado, let's get these guys opened, get them out here, and see how cool they actually are. All right, so here we have the new Reignition Power Rangers opened up and out of their packaging. And, you know, I love what toy companies are doing nowadays, whether it be Playmates, Hasbro, Mattel. All the big companies are really embracing the whole adult collector aspect of things, and they're reimagining figures that people like me at my age had as a kid. While I never had the Power Ranger toys, what Playmates has done here is really what they've done with a lot of things recently, like with their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle remasters or re-release, whatever you want to call them. Especially the actual turtles themselves that I took a look at a couple weeks ago, where they're basically the vintage figure, but with improvements to them. I feel like that's what they were going with these guys, but there is a part of it that does, I personally think, fall short. Yes, it does have a more original toy feel, specifically in terms of the articulation, but that's what a lot of these new modern reimaginings of vintage toys kind of have done. They've taken that look and they've updated it. So like when you look at the Masters of the Universe Origins line from Mattel, basically taking the vintage toys, putting joints in them. You know, things of that nature. Even Hasbro has done it with some of the Transformer figures. Like we look at the, what was it, that Optimus Prime that basically looks like a G1 Optimus Prime, but again, with improved articulation. I think there's an Ultra Magnus repaint of that in a Target exclusive right now. So they're doing a lot of that stuff, and it's really appealing to a lot of people. I feel like these ones, though, stick a little bit too much to that vintage articulation to the detriment of these figures. Starting off first, they do all come with their individual specific Zord-style weapons. They also do come with these swords as well. They're all exactly the same. They all come with them. They're just, you know, I mean, basically the same size, same coloring, all that kind of stuff. They are fairly gummy in terms of the plastic quality on them. They also do, I'm going to start with Billy here, they also do come with blasters that you can see plug into the holster right there. But again, these are all basically the same. Again, molded piece of plastic. I like that they include it. It's cool, but they also do come with their more traditional weapons that we saw them use more commonly throughout the show in conjunction with their Zord. So before we go further in the video, I'm curious if you guys can guess which one, not including Tommy the Green Ranger, of the 5 here, which one do you think was my favorite as a kid? Leave me a comment in the comment section, letting me know which one you think happens to be my favorite of these characters. Starting off first with Jason, you can see again real nice detail on him. Even the likeness is pretty good for a little. I mean, what are these about? These are about 6-inch figures or so. That's a pretty decent likeness to him. I'm quite happy with it. Coloring looks really good. I have him holding his dragon sword, or is it a dragon sword? I think it's a dragon sword, which is considerably different than this sword. But this is his more standard sword form, so I can take that off. He also does come with that blaster, as I was talking about. You got the Morpher right down there. Let's see if I can. You can see some. It's a little bit blurry. You can see some gold detail on there, kind of replicating the coin and things like that. But overall, decent color all the way around on the guy. Looks pretty good. He's got a screw in his butt. Like I said, articulation on here isn't terrible, but not all that good. You can actually rotate the head. It is very stiff to do, but you can rotate it. Shoulders rotate around. There is no in and out motion there, which does suck, because if you want to try to get him in some dynamic poses, you're not really going to be able to do it. The arms do bend, and they also rotate, which is good. I just wish that they put that hinge here at the elbow itself. The wrists also rotate. There's nothing at the waist that is locked into place. Then the hips here, you can see the joint allows for like forward and back. If you rotate it up there, then you can get in and out. I'm not the biggest fan of that joint, but it's functional. It works. The knees bend. They also rotate at the knee. And then they have a rotation down here at the ankle, which is utterly pointless to have. So combination of lacking the outward joint for the shoulders and those, because you can't do anything with it. You go like that. You can't. I mean, he stands perfectly fine. You can't get him in any kind of poses. None of them have it. And all of them have basically the same level of articulation. Well, not saying basically the same. It is all exactly the same. But they did this with the Ninja Turtles as well. They got away with it with Splinter, where they actually put a hinge in there. But then they went back to it with that Shredder. This is a terrible joint. There's no point in this joint. So I don't understand why they put that in there, other than it lets you kind of spread the legs out or spread the feet out a little bit more. Get a little bit more of a solid pose. Whatever. I don't know. But you come around here to the back, and of course you got the play feature with this, where you just push it down and boom. Now you got the Red Ranger. Boom. Now you got Jason. Boom. Red Ranger. And mine's rotating pretty good. I know Pixel Dan was a little bit, his was a little bit off, but I love, like, and it's fast too. I mean, that almost looks like a real kind of thing. I really dig that. And one thing that I've always loved, I always forget that they do it, but like along the side here, they put a slight amount of detail in the helmet to replicate the dragon or the Zord that they have. So he has the Tyrannosaurus Rex, because you can see like it's like an open mouth with the teeth there. And that's always kind of how I remembered it. I don't know how you guys did it, but I think that that's fantastic. Now, moving on to Kimberly. Again, the gun is the exact same. You have the holster ability. You also have the little dagger, but she also does come with her bow, which is, again, just white plastic with some paint on there. But because you can't articulate these arms out, you're not going to get a real good pose with that, which is kind of unfortunate. Because, again, it just... hurts the overall look of the figure. You can rotate these arms out and everything, but you can't really flare those out or anything. At least if they like did something like this, that would have been helpful. But same articulation in her. You got the rotation, which is kind of annoying. The only thing that's, I mean, I like the fact that they did the skirt to her because she did wear it. Trini did not wear that, which is kind of weird. I wonder if they were like making her more girly because pink is a girly color, so they gave her a little skirt. I don't know. But again, her head does slightly rotate side to side, but her hair does kind of limit it. But this one is different than all the guys. Again, probably because the torso is different, but you push this down and it spins around. But when you push it, it just opens it, and then you have to manually rotate it, which again sucks, but I think it's just because they couldn't fit the same mechanism inside there. But you got that button there, and then bam, there you have her. And then again, helmet wise, looks like the pterodactyl, kind of, sort of, like with the head right there and like the wings coming down again. Yeah, I never couldn't remember her Zord, but it's just kind of a cool thing. You got the Morpher right down there. So again, really very cool. Moving on to Zach, the Black Ranger. Again, the gun comes with the dagger as well. And then I forgot what this is actually called, like the Mastodon axe or something like that. I don't know. But again, same type of thing. You can rotate. His head actually rotates a little bit better than Jason's did. But again, good likeness on there. You push the button on the back and bam. I mean, that's a solid feature for it. And then again, you got the Mastodon tusks along the side, which I just think is super cool. You got the Morpher. They're very fun. Now moving on to the Yellow Ranger. Trini, set him there. And again, because you can't move the ankles, you're kind of stuck. So she comes with her little size, which, I don't know. They're her size. Comes with the gun. The gun looks really big with the girls. And then again, you push that down, and there is the Yellow Ranger, again with the tusks coming down her visors because of the saber-toothed cat. Open it, rotate it around, close it off. Again, decent likeness right there, which I like. I mean, some of these, like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It is what it is with the joint selection. And then we have Billy, who comes with slightly bigger size. Which I don't know what those weapons are. But, again, I kind of wish that he had the glasses on there. Although whenever he took the helmet off, he didn't have the glasses on. So, is what it is. But, boom. And that is working pretty decently. Again, you can rotate his head a little bit. Trini's also is a little bit more limited because of the hair. But, oh, wait, why didn't I... She's the only one that... There we go. Let's put her back. And then, like I said, you got the horns on the side, kind of like a Triceratops. And that's also, you know, like Tyrannosaurus Rex. I forgot the order. Maybe they go Triceratops, Saber-tooth Tiger, Mastodon, Pterosaurs. I don't remember. I don't remember the order that they were. But there's Billy doing Billy things. But there you go, guys. Like I said, I'm actually really impressed with them. They look great. There are some downsides to it, but for $10.99, I can't complain that much about them. I do wish that the articulation was done a little bit better. If you're gonna have the ankles be that way, that's fine. But give them the joints at the shoulder so that you can actually put these guys in some cool poses or something like that. I think that would have been a well deserved bit of articulation to update these guys. But all in all, I'm not a Power Ranger expert. Like I said, I know that Hasbro released some a little bit ago that I saw. I personally think that these ones look better. But I think that the Hasbro ones had slightly better articulation. But I think that these ones look good. And, I mean, yes, articulation would be nice to have. I don't tend to play with the figures, though. I don't really pose them. I usually just kind of stand them, and they're done. But There you go, guys. There's my look at the new Reignition Power Ranger figures from Playmates Toys. Like I said, a couple things. Let me know which Power Ranger you think is my favorite of them. Was it Billy, Trini, Zach, Kimberly, ignoring the fact that I had a crush on her, or Jason? Also ignoring that the Green Ranger's not here, which I'll just give you a hint. It wasn't the Green Ranger. He wasn't my favorite. But leave me a comment letting me know. Also, leave me a comment if you'd like to see me take a look at other Power Ranger things that are out, like the Morpher or the Megazords that combined and all that kind of stuff. Let me know what you guys think. So leave me comments down in the comment section. Until next time, this is Optibotimus saying I'm always drinking Coca-Cola. I'll talk to you later. Love you all. Be good to each other. Have a great one.